What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Hipo Supercoach, and tonight we're doing the round 4 Thursday night game review. So pretty interesting game here. We'll start with the pies. We'll do the game review and then we'll talk about some of my trades and what I'm thinking, because my opinions have sort of changed over the last few hours. So firstly, with Collingwood, Nick DAICOS, what an absolute animal. Good job to anyone that vice-captained him. I thought about it, I really did. I had him vice-captain sort of leading into the game, and then I thought maybe Lachie Neale, and then I ended up changing some of my trades, and we'll talk about that in a second. But yeah, Nick DAICOS is just an absolute animal. One thing I learned from tonight is that it doesn't matter where he's playing. If he starts forward, if he starts in the middle, if he starts in the back line, he's scoring the ball. He comes straight into that midfield after being in the forward line. He comes straight into the midfield playing in the back line. So it's just like, yeah, he just works so hard and obviously wants every touch. I know the game was over with like 2 minutes left and he came back on. So every green light possible or green flag for is present for Nick DAICOS. So it's just a matter of get him in as soon as possible. He could be the best player in Supercoach all year, to be honest, and he could win the Brownlow. I think he'd have maybe 8 votes. I reckon he would have had 2 tonight. You'd probably have to say Rayner and Cameron kicking 6 and 4, pretty good. But what is he had? 38 touches and 2 goals, and those 2 goals could have been the 2 behinds could have easily been goals. He could have easily pumped out a 170, 180, which is even scarier. So one that has to be in VC/C consideration from now on. And I think, yeah, if you don't have him, you're going to have to really, really hurt your team just to try and get him in, because he's just such a good option. And I'm super grateful that I started with him. Pendle's 109, so played pretty well and sort of drifted off late in the 4th. I think he's still a good option and a pretty good pod. So keep an eye on Scott Pendlebury. To go 107, still a good score for him. I didn't think he could really keep up these tons, but it looks like he, with this mid-roll, it looks like he probably can keep up with some of the other big mids. So maybe a fringe top 8 mid for the season. We'll wait and see. Going down, Taylor Adams started off really well. He's going to get forward status, so he's one we have to sort of consider. But yeah, not the greatest scores we've seen from Taylor Adams yet, so probably will stay away from him. Tom Mitchell was very quiet tonight. I saw him putting some work into Lachie Neale. I don't know if I wouldn't say it's a tag, but just yeah, he's putting a body on him at stoppages and playing very defensive on him, which was shitting me up the wall, to be honest, because I've got Neale. And he's kind of a pod, to be honest, Lachie Neale, as weird as that sounds, and he's just not playing like a 700k player. Talk about him in a second. In fact, talk about him right now. There's no one really else to talk about. Sidebottom was a big trap if anyone jumped on him. Ruth McInnes might be one of the worst players I've ever seen. Yeah, so Lachie Neale. It's like, fuck, man, why can't this guy kick the ball? It's like he's looking to handball every time. He's just so frustrating to watch. He gets burnt a lot. This guy's the captain of their fucking club and he's getting burnt. So I don't know what's to go with Neale. Is he rubbing people the wrong way? I don't know. You have to hold him because he's doing enough, but it's just like he's just not that captain option we picked him for, or anyone that picked him for. So yeah, Lachie Neale is super frustrating, but we'll take a 103. Connor McKenna, really good, 85. So I thought he was pretty average tonight. And fucking hell, man, this guy does not play on from the kick-ins. Bro, if you have a fucking kick-in, play on. It takes you like an extra step and you're going to get points for us, alright? Dipshit. So, fucking play on, you Irish dog. Anyway, no, I'm only joking. He played alright. But seriously, play on from the kick-ins because that will give us a nice ton score there. Josh Dunkley, 87. So he didn't look right tonight. Like, I just feel like he wasn't near it. It was really weird. And I think Neale and Dunkley, they're not playing like they used to. Obviously they didn't play together, but at their, last year, even though they were at separate clubs, they would always play like that sort of chip around handball game. It feels like they just slammed on the boot now. Maybe that was just Collingwood's pressure tonight. I don't know, but I don't like the way they're playing together, and it's not very Supercoach friendly. So Dunkley's obviously still a lock, probably still going to be F1. He's not a lock for F1 anymore, but he's probably a lock for top 6 forward. We still have to remember that. Ashcroft, 75, so he played well in the end. Had a pretty average game, and then came sort of good in the end. Gave away a free kick late. That was kind of a bit of a flop from Nick DAICOS. But yeah, no, pretty happy with Ashcroft in the end. He doesn't have that CBA role that we thought. So I was looking at this before the game, and you might think, will Ashcroft play in midfield minutes? But he had the 47% in round 1, and he's gone 26 and 30. So he's actually not getting that midfield role. And it might mean that he's not someone that we might keep for as long as we possibly thought. So, yeah, I think Ashcroft is one. We have to monitor his break-even weekly from now on. Still in the minus 37, so he's still going to make... How much money is he going to make this week? So he was projected 67. He's still going to go up like 50k this week, so still plenty of money to be made. But yeah, definitely have to monitor his break-even a bit. All right, so let's talk about my team. Obviously, there's no Clary. There's still Will Day. And there is big bad Luke Davies-Uniacke. Now, I've got a lot of faith in Davies-Uniacke. I was on the Centre Bounce live stream before tonight's game and sort of had a good little discussion there, and basically kind of convinced myself, like, you know what, I can get Clary next week. I think Davies-Uniacke, like, if you're predicting him to be a top 8 mid, which I think he can be, and I think he will be, this is the week you need to get him, because the break-evens are obviously quite different. Clary has the 111. His price isn't really going anywhere. Whereas LDU, if he goes, 120 plus, he's probably going up 50k. So it's like, I'd much rather grab LDU this week. And then, I've got 235k in the bank. I could go like a Lockie Ash and a Liam Jones up to Clary and a rookie, something like that. And keep upgrading that way. And just, playing that value game, I think, is just the benefit. And I might sacrifice a few points this week if Clary goes big. The flip side to that is, I think they, Yo and Gimby, I have seen tag. I don't know about Gimby, but Yo I've seen do tagging roles before. I've got a feeling they could go to Oliver. It's not like something that I'd be, betting on or anything. Like, if I had Oliver, I'd still captain him. But I've got a feeling that he could get tagged. At the same time, I think Ed Kerno will probably go to LDU, so it'll be interesting to see how he handles the tag. But I think, we can't really play too much off taggers. It doesn't seem like tagging is going to be too prevalent this year, or compared to what we thought it would be anyway. So, happy to take a punt on LDU. At this point, that's how my thoughts are. Obviously, I could wake up tomorrow morning and things could change, but I really like the value play with LDU. And he's going to make a bit of coin. So basically what I'm thinking about my team is, so someone like a Lockie Ash or a Setterfield, if he has a sub 100 game, or, his break even starts catching up, they can go to a Clary next week with this 235k. Obviously using a boost, which isn't ideal, but I'm bringing in Will Phillips as well. That's another one I probably need to talk about. So Phillips has a break even of negative 52. It's going to make at least 50k this week, you'd think. Job security is not great, but I do like the fact that he has been named along with all the big dogs from North coming back in the team. So that's a really, really positive sign. And it sort of gives me a bit of comfort picking him about his job security. So fingers crossed he can get some CBAs in there. I don't see him getting too many with... maybe Cunnington plays more forward with Phillips. I still think it'd be more like Cunnington will get like maybe 50%. Phillips might get 20%. I don't really know where else they'll play Will Phillips though. So Hugh Greenwood dropped, gives him maybe a vacancy. But Simpkin and LDU, obviously the two big dogs. And then that third one will sort of be between Cunnington, Phillips, maybe Zerha, and Powell, I think. So the role's not great. He's still a bench option for me. And I've got the choice to loop between Baker and Phillips, and I think I'll take Baker. Just because, he's got proven scores without the midfield time, which I really like. And I like the way he played last week. So that's how the team's looking. VC on LDU, captain on Bont. Now, I did say it would be a bit risky to captain Bont in the wet. However, I don't really trust anyone else in my team, which is kind of sad. I think Bont he might not go huge, but there will be a lot of stoppages in that wet weather. Hopefully he can, he's a clearance machine at the end of the day. I don't know how efficient he's going to be. We saw how bad he was last week with his clangers, but I think that was a one-off. So, happy to go with Bonds and Pally. And, wish I could vice captain Nick DAICOS. Good job to anyone that did, because it's an unreal effort. And, he's got to be a must-have. It's as simple as that. He's as good as they come for Supercoach, and he's an absolute animal when it comes to stats. So, that's it for the video. Hope everyone had a good night, and good luck for tomorrow night as well if you don't see me again.